You know what? Good enough. Good enough. Okay, so let's start ourselves a tier list. And of course, Grimnir is D tier for obvious reasons. You guys have heard me complain enough about the character, so I don't. I had to start with that. All right, best character in the game. Where is he? Belial. Belial top 1, plus on everything. One of the best DPs in the game. Best projectile in the game. Command grab that even though it's slow, basically everyone gets hit by it. It's basically unreactable, even though it's very reactable. It makes no sense. A 2M that literally pays the bills because it combos into itself on top of being plus on block that people can just spam. A far H that goes way too far. Ridiculous air normals. He's just broken. He's just strong in literally every sense. Number 2, Lucilius. They literally turned him into a boss character. He probably would have been fine if they just gave him the level up changes, right? If they gave him just the level up changes, we probably wouldn't be too upset by it. But the issue is they gave him the level up changes on top of making level 5 even more busted. And the fact that he gets levels from whiffing specials makes no sense to me. Makes no sense to me. He gets a full level for whiffing specials. Or having the specials bought. It's so stupid. Say hi to your cousins from Guadalajara. Gotcha. But yeah. And also his far M is straight up a god button. Not much more to say about that. It's just a god button. Next up we got Katalina. I think these are the top 3. Again, these two, the buffs they got, ridiculous. Her counter basically making where you can never press a button against her without running risk of literal death. Is crazy. Her corner carry now is literal corner to corner, including wall bounce levels of corner to corner. Like we thought Djeeta's corner carry before into the wall bounce is crazy. No, she literally can do corner to corner into wall bounce now. Absolutely insane. Really good fireball. One of the fastest DPs in the game. She's kind of just, well, the general idea of all 3 of these characters, they're kind of just good at everything. And bad at basically nothing. Closest thing to any of these characters have to being bad as Lucilius does not have a meterless DP. Otherwise, strong normals, high damage anywhere on screen. Well, I was about to say ridiculous corner carry. Lucilius doesn't have a ridiculous corner carry, but he's got level 5, so who needs a corner anyways? Mid-screen combos, good pokes. Yeah, kind of nuts. All right, number 4. Where is Beatrix? More characters of basically no weaknesses. Ridiculous corner carry, fast DP. Way to set up plus frames using her dive kick projectile. The solo bad guy slide, despite no longer being plus on block, is still really strong. And as Shinku put it, basically she doesn't really have any bad matchups at all. More characters that don't really have many weaknesses, at least for me. Next character we got 2B. I've had enough of the 2B downplay. She is dumb. Furthest region normals in the game. The air stall like no other, with the ability both to double jump as well as hover in the air. The actual best air normal in the game with her JH. Fast projectile that goes through projectiles. Way to set up plus frames. Normals that no one can beat. A crazy strong medium. Yes, I believe 2B is top. I believe 2B either top 5, top 6. But it was between her and Zeta for who my fifth character was going to be. I continue to go back and forth on. I continue to go back and forth on this. Like, these are my top 3. Beatrix is my fourth, and then I go back and forth on who's 5th and who's 6th between Zeta and 2B. But Zeta also has ridiculous corner carry. Despite the ultimate damage nerfs, she still has ridiculously good ultimate buttons. She now has the ability to do fuzzies mid-screen on top of in the corner, and unlike Grimnir, she can do it anyway. She can do it to every character in the game. And you can, and it's much in a similar sense as Katalina, you cannot really challenge it. Like, you can take the risk of pressing guard cancel to beat the fuzzy, but in another situation, as unlike Grimnir, she can just parry it and she will get a full combo on you for it. Yes, I'm aware Grimnir. I don't have Grimnir in top 5, and I've been telling people for months that he is not top 5. So I'm literally just putting it to page that I don't think he's top 5. So when do I do tier lists? I do tier lists from time to time. Put him in top 1 for now. To Grim, put Grim top 1 just for people to hope that I finally stop downplaying my character, even though I'm literally about to put him here. That part is true. Zeta, the main reason why we don't see Zeta more often is because she is far from the easiest to play. Her combos in order to do optimally are far from easy, since a lot of them involve rejumps. And ends up being a lot of time gotta read the opponent because parry, and they're not as free as Catalina's, where she can basically make herself safe. Zeta, there's basically no way for her to make herself safe if she is just making a call. I already know Chad is asking about Grimnir placement. Yeah, shocker, Eva. I was literally about to put Grimnir. I was about to talk about Grimnir next. So yeah, Grimnir. I have him around top 7, not top 2, like many people seem to put him in. And you can call me a down player all you want, but that is where I personally have him. As for why I have him there is because Grimnir has a lot of knowledge checks. And a lot of people don't have this character, so many people don't know about said knowledge checks. On top of that, he's got ridiculously good specials. Seals allow him to have the best movement in the entire game. But his Oki is probably the best in the game, along with Zeta. And his combos with seals are ridiculously good. And when he's got seals and has the opponent in the corner, he is the scariest character in the game. That being said, his normals are terrible. Guard cancel destroys his entire game plan. He cannot fuzzy anybody because he cannot do anything about the guard cancel. If you try to read it in DP, it doesn't work because of the guard cancel immunity. If you try to dodge it, he is still -1. And if you just block it, they are plus because it's guard cancel. So guard cancel basically ends all chances that he has of actually hitting anyone with a fuzzy. Besides that, the block button basically makes it where he can't mix anybody up with left rights. His dashes are -2, and his normals outside of far H are mid at actual best. So that being said, his specials, his Oki, and his mix-ups in the corner would make him arguably the best character in the game, like some people are putting him as. But the system mechanics of the guard cancel, of the block button, and how bad his normals are, and the fact that his dash is negative on block, and also can be ducked. I personally have Grimnir as top 7, but it's just that people don't lab the character, so they don't really pay much attention to weaknesses. They only see his strengths, and that's why some of them put him as top 2. Insane downplay. And I'm sure I'm going to get called a down player by about 20,000 people or whoever the heck comes into the tier list. But those are my reasons on why I think he's only top 7, because the parts that he's strong at, he is top 2, top 1 at. The part that he's bad at, the parts that he's bad at are bottom tier to mid tier at best, and system mechanics cook him. A strong neutral game, his damage should be a bit lower. His damage is either really bad or really good, depending on if he has seals. If he has seals, his damage is some of the highest in the game. If you don't have seals, his damage is on the higher end. I don't think it's that high compared to a lot of other characters, but it's on the higher end, I think. Honestly, I don't fully know when it comes to character changes. Yes, but when we're talking about a character where one of his primary strengths is a fuzzy, and even if you call out the fuzzy, or even if you call out the guard cancel on the fuzzy, and he's still negative, even if you dodge it, I think that counts more for him. The strongest thing, one of the scariest things about him that people talk about is the fact that he can fuzzy people. But if you can't even call out the fuzzy, or if you can't even call out the guard cancel, then fuzzies tend to be not all that good. Because even if you call it out, he's still -1. So yes, I'm not saying other characters also don't lose their guard cancels, because guard cancel is a broken mechanic. But when Grimnir's strength, and from an Oki standpoint, is his fuzzies, and guard cancel literally makes it where you can't fuzzy anybody. That's kind of all I'm getting at there. Yes, Zeta does the fuzzies too, but she does it to every character, because Grimnir can't do it to the smaller characters. Grimnir also needs seals in order to do it, and she can also just counter the guard cancel when calling out, where Grimnir, even if he dodges it, he's -1. Yes, seals don't go away, because if seals went away, he would be bad. For Grimnir to be threatening, he needs seals, because people aren't really scared of him when he doesn't have seals, because he doesn't really have ways to make himself plus, and his normals aren't good. The only thing really good about him when seals aren't there is his tornado, which you primarily use to set up seals. Oh yeah, like I said, I'm not arguing that guard cancel isn't a broken mechanic that needs to be nerfed, because it most definitely needs to be nerfed. But when you ask people what's strong about Grimnir, they talk about the fact that you can fuzzy people. If you can just guard cancel it and be plus even if he dodges it, then it's not exactly all that threatening. Then you're back to neutral where his normals are bad. Again, his specials are crazy. His Oki is crazy. That's why I have him that high. But his bad normals, and the ability to just hold the block button and basically guarantee that you're plus in the end, makes it a little rough for a character like him. Also, he does not have a meterless DP, and his meter DP is terrible. But yeah, so that's why I have Grimnir there. I know I'm on the side of people. I'm on the opposite side of people who all have him top 2, but I think they're nuts for thinking that he's better than Belial, Lucilius, or Katalina at the very least. He's one of the only characters who can link into raw ult mid-screen and with 60 proper corner Oki from round start though. Okay, round start he will not have 50%. Second, raw 214U leads to death if blocked. So there's that too. So yes, you can just toss it out. If blocked, then he just gets blown up for it. So yes, his 214U is good, but it also comes with its own series of risks. On top of that, the combos you get off of hitting it raw is really not that great. And yes, his corner carry is good, but so is. But Katalina's goes full corner to corner. Belial can just side switch or has better corner, basically just as good corner carry with 50% or with no meter at all. Beatrix is better corner carry. Zeta's got better corner carry. 2B's the only one that does. 2B's the only one that doesn't of the characters I currently have above Grimnir. Okay. I figured Grimnir was going to end up being the longest talking points, and I'm sure I'm going to end up having to listen to more people talking about Grimnir throughout this because I'm a Grimnir player. Okay. Anyways, moving on before we end up going on more things to talk about about Grimnir. About Seigfried. Still broken. I'm still surprised so many people have dropped him. He went from like the second most played character in the game to. Okay, to be fair, there's still quite a few people playing, but a lot of people dropped him. I don't really know why, because he's still really insane. The only thing really that got nerfed on him was his projectile. So his pressure is slightly worse now because he can't just run and throw you off of the projectile, and he doesn't have the auto win neutral button that was the EX projectile. So now he actually has to play the game somewhat. Whoopee! He's got to actually play the game before he can start using his ridiculously long normals and his ridiculously long specials and his RPS of his Rekka series and all these other things that he's got that are so crazy. He just now has to actually play the game a slight amount before he gets to do those things. Grimnir is some of the best corner carry in the game. Beatrix also has really good corner carry. Zeta's got really good corner carry. Katalina literally goes corner to corner. Belial's got ridiculous corner carry as well as side switching, and Lucilius doesn't care because he's got mid-screen combos. Grimnir's normals outside of far H are ridiculously bad. His 5L only having the same amount of range as his 2L while being a low makes it at least decent. His 5M is not all that great, being 9 frames. His sweep is a joke. His 2H is a joke. His 2H is a joke, and his 2M is a high that hits about a centimeter in front of his 5L. So if you're going to tell me that Grimnir's normals are good outside of his far H, I got no idea what you're talking about. How's that? And we're talking about Grimnir seals. It takes 40 frames to set up EX seals. If they go away when he gets hit, and his lack of defense basically makes it he's got no way to get out without seals, no way to escape using seals plus 214 HP is literally his only escape tool outside of using a 50% HP or a 50% DP which has no range on it. Basically means he's got terrible defense, one of the worst in the game, one of the worst DPs in the game, and no way to escape if seals go away on hit or on knockdown. And then because the seals also have a 10-second cooldown, means you've got to wait a long time. So if you set it up and trade with a projectile, all of a sudden you have to wait 10 seconds to set up the only thing that he has that's good outside of his tornado when they aren't up. So if you want to say the seal should go away on knockdown then you need to reduce the cooldown by a shit ton, because the second he gets knocked down, if he does not have seals to try to escape, he literally has guard cancel, a DP with no range, or an absolute hope and a prayer. How's that? Exactly, Pilsen. Grimnir players will always back up and set up seals because that is the best way he can play the game. The second seals are gone, all of a sudden he basically can't play the game in a meaningful way anymore, since his normals are terrible and and his specials have, and he's got no way to set up any kind of plus frames or any way to get in safely besides just walk forward and hope that he can somehow sneak around the fact that his normals aren't good. If they go away on hits, then Grimnir goes from being a top character with good movement and neutral to nothing. Absolutely nothing. His strengths are some of the best in the game. His weaknesses are really bad. I think his strengths are much better than his weaknesses, and that's why I have him as top 7. But because of how many weaknesses he has and how exploitable they are, I don't think he's top 5. This is literally just going to end up becoming one giant Grimnir rant across his entire thing. I know it. So yeah, Raz, if you want to give me reasons why you think Seal should go away on knockdown when Grimnir has no normals outside of far range and a 50% DP that has no range and a 10-second cooldown Seals, I'm all ears. But having them go, but making it where they go away literally removes basically one of the good things about him. And his only real way of escaping. And if they're on a 10-second cooldown and a 40 frame move to get them set up, which can be punished by many characters in the game, then I don't know. He's basically just going to suffer at that point. But many people want him to suffer, so it makes sense. Okay. Anyways, Percival. Kind of a good character. He's basically slightly worse Seigfried. He's basically slightly worse Seigfried. I thought he was going to end up being slightly better Seigfried after this patch, where Seigfried got the slap on the wrist and Percival got a few more buffs. But for the most part, he's still basically just slightly worse Seigfried. But slightly worse Seigfried is still a ridiculously good character. And then to round out my top 10, I'm gonna add another character that very few people actually play, and that is the Pringles Man. That's just going to end up being. This is just going to end up being one giant Grimnir rant. Yes, Percival's eating really good this one. If you want to put this, okay, I'm going to say one more thing, and then I'm going to try and focus more on the tier list. Because this is literally just going to end up being a tier list of never ending talking about Grimnir if I don't. If you want to change Grimnir Seals to be on a timer to where Seals will go away after 10 seconds when the Seal timer comes back up again, that's fine. But if you want to make it where Grimnir Seals will go away on hits, you will be gutting the character. That is what I am getting. That is the last thing I'm going to bring on this. If you want to make it where Seals last as long as the cooldown is, so he has to keep setting them up again every time the cooldown is up, that is one thing. But if you want Seals to go away on hits, then you are literally trying to gut the character and make it where the thing that he's best at is going to be completely gone. Is going to be completely gone, and you're basically just trying to kill the character at that point. Risk reward is all I ask. What's the risk? All right, tell me what the risk reward is for half the cast. What's the risk reward on any of the characters I got above him? What's the risk reward on these three? On Anre, you can punish the parry. What's the risk reward on pretty much anything else? Risk reward on Percival charging up a counter. He gets hit by a projectile. That's about it. But then he'll just flame card people and B+. Risk reward on Seigfried for literally anything. Basically nothing. 2B's risk reward. They might jump one of your normals if they can get over it. Zeta's risk reward on her parry can be 2H, but the reward is you get a full combo into a fuzzable Oki. Beatrix risk reward. What's the risk on anything she does basically? Katalina, risk is nothing, reward is high. Lucilius, risk is nothing, reward is high. Belial, risk is nothing because he's plus anyways. Grim risk for setting up seals. Grim's risk for setting up seals is he might get hit. And if the person is close enough, they'll get a full combo. That's the risk. His reward is the best movement in the game. That's his risk reward. If we're talking about the risk reward for if his seals go away on hit, his risk would be he gets hit and all of a sudden he has to play the game with no seals for 10 seconds and then has to hope that he can get them off while he's got a losing neutral game. His reward for getting up seals is he's got some of the best movement in the game, but still has to deal with the block button. So all of a sudden, the risk reward is a horrible risk and a good reward. Compared to the other characters on this list whose risk is minimal and his reward is a lot. Okay. Yes, EX Fireball into EX Seals is broken. That is why he is top 7 despite having bad normals and bad DP. If it wasn't broken, he wouldn't even be top 10. But when block buttons exist, and he's negative on block when doing seals, or when doing seal dash, does not make him better character than especially not these three. Yeah, this was a definite mistake. Whatever. Anre, Pringles man, plus on block throw bait. Ridiculously good throw baits. Good. It's almost impossible to parry him, and it's risky. And it's risky to guard cancel him. It's risky to press a button on him when he's negative because he'll just do medium counter, which now gives him full combo because of the changes. When he does the install, he basically has a way to set up about 5 different mix-ups that all lead to full combos. He's also got really good projectile that pierces through other projectiles. Way to confirm off of ultimate projectile. As well as the fact that he's got an air parry, so you're taking a risk every time you try to 2H him as well. What's this tier list about? This is just the tier list that I think of character strength. The only ones that I'm trying to order right now are top 10. Otherwise, the tiers below it are just going to be regular tiers. And at this point, I've been talking for I don't know how long, but probably 70% of it has been talking about Grimnir. But yeah, so. Pringles Man, incredibly underrated character, ridiculously strong, and I'm going to be trying to at least see if I can learn him after Rumble and SoCal because, yeah, he's kind of just a little bit good. It's just that nobody plays him because people don't like how he looks. All right, and just out of the top 10, and the character I was considering for top 10, Cagliostro. People call me a down player. Most of it. Yeah, don't worry. It's not that I've been talking for an hour and a half on this tier list and only gone through 10 characters. It's not that bad. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, Cagliostro. Yeah, I'm going to risk. I live down here. No, we looked at your scrub tier list and your buff nerf tier list before I started this tier list. That's what I meant. But yeah, Cagliostro. Normals, oppressive as hell. Traps still really good. Cag players are probably one of the few players that can give 2B players a run for their money when it comes to downplaying characters. But she is ridiculously strong to say the least. Still really annoying, and once she has you in the corner, good luck doing anything against her pretty much. This might be what happens when the U.S. Vaseragas take over. But Vaseraga is also a ridiculously good character. Again, A tier is not going to be ordered, but Fuselit has reign to literally murder us all, and Vaseraga is definitely pretty damn scary, especially when he has the counter. One of the few giant characters that even though he's slow, you really can't really tell because he's kind of just stomping at you, and you just pray that you either manage to roll through it, or you can react to his throw, or yeah, it just sucks in general whenever he's stomping at you. I know there are counters to it, but shit's just rough when he's stomping at you. And speaking of the ultimate character, if you don't have a meterless DP, you are going to cry. Beelzebub, long normals, great projectile. Teleport is okay, but if you don't have a meterless DP, you are going to cry because he is going to dive on you, and you are going to just have to eat it. So much plus frames. So much plus frames. Scary. Narmaya. Where's Narmaya? Narmaya. I love how it seemed like all the Narmaya players was talking about how bad the changes were to her, and that she's much worse now, but she still seems ridiculously strong. Great. In a similar sense as Anre, plus on block, throw bait. Plus order placement is extremely correct. Plus on block, throw bait. Good corner carry. Good damage. Pretty good projectile. I was thinking of the word I wanted to use for it, but this is pretty good projectile. And the fact you can charge it means you can bait dodges, which is also pretty nice. Some characters have better ways to deal with their flip than others. Like good throw baits or good 2H baits coming from the air with her ultimate crescent. Her counter is really good. The DP not so much, but the counter is really good. She's just got a lot of good options. Oh, she's got pretty solid normals as well. She's got a lot of good a lot of good things going for her. Nothing like too crazy to match some of the characters above her in the top tiers, but she does have a lot of good things going for her. Speaking of good things going for him, despite some changes, Seox. I was hoping that they were going to nerf this character. They kinda nerfed this character. And when I say they kinda nerfed this character, it's they lowered his HP. Gritson, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. They nerfed his HP. So what did they do because they nerfed his HP? They gave him more damage. Why? I wanted him, Seigfried, and Nier to all get a bunch of nerfs. Why is Nier the only one that really got it? I know, but why give him more damage though? Spot dodge him, not punish him. I know, he got some nerfs. The fact that he got some nerfs is the only reason why he's not still up here. But I wanted more. This character needed to suffer. But yeah, great corner carry. His damage got even more insane with the wall bounds. Still has a million different throw baits, ways to beat and punish projectiles, even though they are dodgeable. Strong Rekka where you have to guess if you want to punish it. Just a lot of good. Basically has a lot of good stuff going for him, pretty much. And yes, the damage scaling and the meter gain scaling definitely hurt him quite a bit. Versusia. Again, not ordered, but she probably would be near the bottom of there. Great zoning potential, long range normal. She is a little awkward to play, to say the least, because of the slow movement startup, but those who have been playing her have gotten really good at using it. Definitely not a pick up and play character, but strong zoning options. That pillar projectile is crazy. Lots of plus frame options. She is a strong character, just a little awkward to say the least. But unfortunately, there are quite a few characters that do tend to say no to zoning-like characters. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but that's just the name of the game. I'm gonna go down. I think I'm gonna go down to B tier now. We'll go with the Lancelot. Is S ordered? Yes. S is the only one I'm ordering. Or at least right now, S is the only one ordering. I might do that. Might do it for the bottom tiers, but S is the only one ordering. Lancelot. As people are no, not great. I can say that a little. But yeah, Lancelot. Stubby normals. Great movement though. But yeah, the as people start getting better at reacting to what he is doing, it is a bit more of a struggle for him to be able to use his dash tools, and the guard button existing does make the left right slightly less threatening in a similar sense as Grimnir's. Pair that though with some stubby normals and a very meh DP. Not the greatest. His movement is still crazy. His corner carry with ultimate moves is fantastic. And when you hit him with the slow, it basically is a guaranteed throw, because I sure hope that people are not trying to tech the throws. But do you know when to press the guard button? Yes, but Lancelot in a way is a bit of a knowledge check when it comes to knowing when to use their guard button, or just always block with the guard button. But he's definitely at his scariest when you he's definitely at his scariest when you don't use it. But if you use it, his mix-ups are a lot less scary. If you play a bit patient with him, against him, and try not to tech too often with throws, I have that issue. I tech with throws too often. then he's a lot less scary. Yes, I am well aware of this, and I've literally spent more time talking about Grimnir being here than I've talked about every other character combined at this point, Musketeer. Yes, to the people who are able to react to what he's doing with the dashes, he is not nearly as scary as he would be otherwise. If his dashes were faster, especially the cross up, or when diving back down, he would be twice as scary of a character. But since they're a little slower, he does end up getting punished more often than not against people who know what to look out for. Charlotta. I hope they get rid of her double overhead. Outside of that, I don't know how Charlotta players do it. Because a good Charlotta player is absolutely goddamn terrifying. But I do not know how they do it with the stubby normals. But she's got a ridiculously fast jump. Good luck 2H'ing it, especially if you're playing Grimnir. Good luck 2H'ing it. The fact that the demon flip now is basically always plus is super annoying. She's got a million ways to make herself plus. Her little Blanca ball has no recovery on whiff, so good luck challenging it. It's just a lot of good luck basically when it comes to fighting her. But her lack of neutral along with very stubbly normals does make it very difficult for her to play the game in a game full of characters with either giant normals or really strong screen control. But somehow Charlotta players do it, and hats off to them. I hate fighting Charlotta players because they make her look really good. Soriz. Speaking of characters who don't really have neutral, but unlike Charlotta, he doesn't really care because armor. This dude is the king of plus frames. He is plus on this. He's plus on this. He's plus on this. He's plus on this. Okay. I think he's gonna throw this time and jump and punch and full combo and pain. Soriz. And yes, while he's doing all those things, he's chipping you out in the process. I don't want this character buffed. Should he get buffed? Maybe, but God, I hope he doesn't. Fortunately, his lack of neutral and the fact that he's got to run in on people and the fact that his on multi-hit projectiles, his armored attacks stop in place as long as they're going, and then he'll go again, makes it easier for him to dodge. So the armor, though cool, does tend to lead to bad things, and even though he's plus when he gets started, he kind of suffers when he doesn't get the chance to. So it's a bit, so a lot of times with Soriz, I think you either win handily or you just never get to play, which is kind of an issue which shares a bit of an issue of that with Charlotta as well. Except she gets around it with demon flip and jumping. He gets around it by just trying to go full force bulldozing ahead. But neither of them work the greatest in this style of game. So unfortunately for Soriz, he doesn't quite have just the charge up as Vaseraga, then just stomp forward. If he did, and he just charged up and armored through everything with all of his moves. Oh dear lord, I probably shouldn't have said that out loud because I don't even want that thought to even go into anybody's head. Eustace. I love this character. I wish I was better with him. Eustace players, like, I know there aren't many of you out there, but you guys are my favorites. I love Eustace players. I have a relatively easy-ish time playing against Eustace as Grimnir, so I'm kind of fortunate for that sense. But watching top-level Eustace players is insane. Constant plus frames, constant zoning tools, while at the same time rushing in. More plus frames and mix-ups and setups with the sticky bomb a la Halo. Eustace is just a really cool character that I both hope gets better and hope he doesn't, because if he becomes strong, that is going to be something. But I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Eustace, and I kind of want him to be better, because some of the most excited I've ever gotten watching Gran Blue gameplay was watching Eustace players. It is very, very impressive what they do with him, and I'm a big fan. Vira changes really good, and I'm not a fan. Then yes, green grenade ultimate Oki is absolutely goddamn horrifying. It's either a bunch of damage, a bunch of chip, or a full combo. There's no other option. But yeah, Vira changes very good for her because she now gets better tracking on the. She's mid. I'm not saying she's terrible, Shinku. She is mid. We will get to the characters I say are terrible, but she is mid. Anyways, what I was saying, the changes are good for her. I thought the butterfly changes were bad. I cannot lie. When the patch notes came out, I thought the changes were bad for her, but no, the butterfly changes end up being pretty good because even though they're slightly slower, they track better and yeah, they're just so annoying. On top of that, being able to confirm into the throw on crouching opponents now using the ultimate butterfly basically now makes it where at 50% she can transform. And when she transforms now, she's like before, her transformation after she went into it was just a really good character. Now it's a really good character. And Viras are being able to because of the changes. Vira's now able to transform basically even more now than ever before, and that is good for her and bad for the rest of us. But she still has to transform though in order to be considered a really good character. That is kind of the issue. That's basically the major issue with her. Though her normals are pretty good and her DP is really good, she needs to transform to be a really strong character, and that will always be her fault. Sorry, at the current state. Lowain. Nah, we'll hold off on Lowain. Zooey. I like Zooey's a character that, in a similar sense to what we were talking about before when it comes to some knowledge checks, Zooey, if you don't know what to do against her, is like the high-end top-tier character, because she will be plus on everything, she will hit you with everything, you'll be stuck in dragon pressure forever. But if you know what to do against her, and you have, and your character, and especially if your character has tools against some of the things she does, like her, like if you have a meterless DP to deal with a jumping attack, if you have a good low to deal with her 6-6H, or a better way to punish the 6-6H, then she's not really as frightening. She's either horribly frightening or really not that bad, depending on who you're playing and how much knowledge you have of her. But in a similar sense of Eustace, Zooey is really cool. I'm a big fan of the dragon aspect of her, and I'm sure she's probably gonna get some kind of buffs in the future. But as of right now, for the most part, she's just kind of annoying to fight against, and has a really good 2M. Yuel. Yuel's been my mind has been changed quite a bit on Yuel. I thought the last patch she was pretty bad, and I thought after the changes, I thought she was gonna be pretty bad. But no, stance super annoying. That overhead change, although somewhat of a nerf, was also a buff because it's unreactable and you're basically guessing at all times. The fact that the low version from that, the low attack from that stance is DP safe is insane. So you're almost always taking the 50-50 no matter what, then you're taking a guess at every turn is just insane. Her Oki is crazy. Her corner carry is fantastic. Especially on crouching, I should say fantastic. It's really good, especially on crouching opponents. Damage pretty good. And yeah, the fact that she makes you guess at all times and it's basically DP safe is just insane. But against characters with projectiles, she is another character that just has to try to blitz her way in. And unfortunately, in the case of a lot of the characters above her, they all have either ways to stop her or just as good a ways to blitz their way in and be able to beat her. And that's why she's going to be down here. I don't like this tier list. My apologies, Zeta. Anyone else I want to put there? Oh, it's on Djeeta. What am I talking about? I thought I did Djeeta already, but no, Djeeta. Djeeta, quite the fall from grace for a character that I used to think was the 4th best character in the game. But nerfs to her Rekka, causing the corner carry to drop dramatically. Nerfs to the projectile. The buffs to the 5U are cool, but somewhat impractical. And now of a sudden, her somewhat stubbier normals are now no longer being overshadowed by how strong her specials are. And because of that, she does see a massive drop on the tier list compared to what I thought she was before. But that's what happens if you had specials. If you had ridiculously good specials that can make up for okay normals, then you're going to be up there. But the second the specials got nerfed and 5U was the only thing to make up for it, it's just not enough for her, unfortunately. Especially when other characters get buffed to where they are now. She got nerfed quite a bit. Other characters got buffed quite a bit, so she sees a drop. We're gonna go down to, I think, the C tier at this point, where we are going to talk about Lowain, who, I'm not even gonna lie, until like a month or two ago, I did not know you could dodge his counter on reaction. I wish I was lying, but I actually didn't know you could do that. So it's slightly easier fighting Lowain now than it was before. Besides that, he's kind of the joke character. I don't really know what more to say for pretty much. Some decent normals, a not great counter. I mean, if you find the time to eat, it's pretty good. Hey, Vane was going to go to C tier. I don't think Vane is B tier. I was going to put him C tier. But yeah. Lowain Oki, pretty good, and his supers are funny, but that's about what he's got. Strike throw Lowain can be tricky. Yeah, can be tricky. He should be an A before he gets buffed. Oh dear lord. Yeah, his Oki can be good, and his supers are pretty cool, but his supers are somewhat reactable. Well, his pyramid super, if the opponent can react to the dodge, is not all that great. Ends up getting him punished more often than not. His 2M is pretty good though. So, I mean, at least there's that. Vane. Hey, it's progress. I mean, Vane was a character that was bottom 1 for me last patch. Now he's not in the bottom tier anymore. So, progress. Progress. Also, apparently, I somehow hit a button in Gran Blue. Ooh. Anyways, but yeah, progress for Vane. Mainly because his mid-screen combos are a lot better now, and his ability to keep you out with the swing is also much better since they made things faster. So those were nice changes for him. Unfortunately for him, the shield is still really good against some characters and next to worthless against other characters. Avatar was not bottom 1 last patch, although he was pretty close. He was definitely pretty close last patch. But yeah, Vane's definitely going a step in the right direction, and I don't know how they should buff him, really, but like I said, they need to make his shield good, but I don't want them to make it good, because if they make it good, he could be like insanely scary. So I honestly don't know how to fix him, because if his whole point is do giant hide behind shield, do giant slam. Doesn't really work when shield not good, but if shield good, what do you do against it? So, I honestly don't know. Gran still basically the weaker Djeeta. Also some good changes with him, but yeah, my honest mid tier. What's good, Strauss? What's good, Ava? Make it impossible for you to run behind the shield. Done. Yeah. So Gran, good changes. Some much like Vane, step in the right direction, but nowhere near enough to bring him up to the levels of the characters above him. Everything about him is basically just okay. Which when the overall strength of characters went up, isn't exactly good enough for him. Well, let's see with the shotgun. He does do a lot of damage, so at least there's that. But as with my next character, damage is not everything. Avatar Belial, please help my boy. I want him to be good. I would love for him to be my second character, because him having Milo's DP would be great for the Grimnir bad matchups. Buff him. Give him more HP and make it where he hurts himself less, because he is such a good character. He's got crazy good projectiles. His 5M is really good. His 2M kind of sucks, but we're not going to talk about that. His 5L is good. His 5H has decent range. His projectiles are amazing. I'm pretty sure I said that already, but I don't care. His flight having many options are all really good. Until they have 50%, then you have to worry about dodging. But still, it's still really good. And the fact that he now has great corner carry, great mid-screen damage. He already had great corner damage, but now his corner damage is even better. So he's so freaking good, but he hurts himself, and he also has the lowest HP in the game. We're tied for it. Why? Why am I winning the game? I hit my opponent twice. They are one hit from death. And then I get hit once and I die. It's like, why? Hey, Ava with the 3 months and the Prime. Ava, we here at Zane FTC know you have many options on where you want to spend your Prime 7. We thank you for choosing us. But yeah, give him more HP and make it where he takes less damage, and I'll be happy. Give him 15k HP, so he's still on the low end, and just make it where he takes like half of the amount of damage he's currently taking. That way, instead of taking 30% in a combo, he's taking 15% in a combo. That way, there's a much less chance of him, when he hits people twice, he's not going to die in the next hit. Okay, do that. Yes, please. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Because otherwise, I'm going to continue asking for buffs. Nier. the biggest fall from grace on the entire tier list. And thank God for it. Nier, you can stay dead. I know people are saying they over nerfed her, that they need to give her buffs back, give her Raging Strike back when death is gone. Okay, to be fair, they probably should do that. But don't do that. Don't do that. Leave her dead. Leave her dead. Make me happy and make me never have to see this character ever again. Buff her? Nah, we wouldn't do that. Nah. Sorry, Beluga. And for the bottom tiers, I'm sure basically everyone kind of thought these 5 were going to be the bottom tiers. Metera, the best of the bottom, the best of the worst. Metera, good zoner, good zoner. Has everything you could possibly want in a zoner. Projectiles that pierce other projectiles. Set play to set up traps with the butterflies. Some decent movement options. Some okay normals. Some crazy combos off of set play. She's got everything you could possibly want in a zoner, right? So why is she bottom tier? Well, this game hates zoners. That's pretty much it. This game hates zoners. Too many full screen options, ultimate projectiles, being able to beat her EX1s basically just makes it where once they have 50%, she runs the risk at every time she tries to throw out a projectile. Guard cancel means that when she does decide to go in and she starts using her normals, if she gets guard canceled, all of a sudden they're on top of her because hard knockdown from guard cancels are a thing, which makes no sense to anybody. So yeah, not great. Not great. She's a decent zoner. The issue is zoning alone is not enough in this game. That's why Versusia, despite having 3 projectiles up here, because she can run twice as fast as any other character and has giant normals, and uses up here because on top of being a decent zoner, he's got a projectile. His regular projectile can't pierce other projectiles as long as you charge it up, and also he's got ways to set up a million plus frames using the grenades, as well as the diagonal electric orb things. I don't actually know what they're called, as well as using those to control the people who are trying to jump too much to try to jump over the projectiles. So they got at least ways besides just pure zoning. Metera is kind of just pure zoning for the sake of zoning, which in this game is not great. Ladiva. You guys want to play rock paper scissors? Because here's our game of rock paper scissors with Ladiva. If Ladiva wins rock paper scissors, right? Or I guess technically it's a 50-50. So if Ladiva wins the game of guess whether or not I'm going to throw you, if you decide to take the throw, you get or Ladiva gets a decent bit of damage. If they guess Ladiva's going to throw, and then they were right, they get a lot of damage. And there's the difference. When it comes to Ladiva, even though some rounds for Ladiva will go entirely in Ladiva's favor, you'll guess correctly every single time. You guess they held up, you press the button, and you get full combo. That's great. You guess that they're just holding down back, and you throw them. You hit a couple throws in a row, you get a bunch of damage. Again, that's great. But the second you're wrong, you're either getting guard cancelled, and then you're being put on defense, or you're being put in neutral, which Ladiva's really slow and doesn't really have a great way to get past all that all the projectiles. Or you guessed wrong. They guessed the throw, and you're eating a massive combo. So yeah, the guess for what Ladiva is going to do always ends up being basically in the favor of the opponent. It's like low reward, high risk, basically for almost everything Ladiva does. And because of that, Ladiva does end up being near the bottom. And I'm okay with that because I don't like grapplers. You know, our zoner is necessary in a fighting game. JR and D2 so real. Again, Metera if you just look at Metera's kit as a zoner, she's not a bottom tier character, but the game itself just hates zoners. Like, unless the zoner has other things with it, they are just, this game just hates you. Anila. This character is 66H and Ultimate Sheep, and that's it. That's it. That's all you need to know about Anila. She's got a really good 66H, and Ultimate Sheep is kind of crazy. That's all. Yep, that's literally all she's got. Oh yeah, man, she's got a decent sweep. Sorry, she's got a good sweep as well. Good sweep, 66H, and Ultimate Sheep. That's all. That's all she's got. And because that's all she's got, yeah, that's it. Did you mention she has? Yes, I mentioned she has a 66H. 66H, sweep, Ultimate Sheep. Those are the good. That is the end of the good things about her. Musketeer, you're literally saying the things that I was just saying. Wait. Anyways, Fairy. Hey look. What? Imagine Metera, right? Imagine the zoner, right? Let's take the zoning powers of Metera, right? But instead of a bow and arrow, let's give her a whip, okay? And on top of let's give her a whip, let's make it where Fairy's whip cannot anti-air. See, hey, stay with me. I know the character, I know like the main issue of her, and I know the whole point of her is you're trying to keep in the long range, and you're just trying to keep people away and keep them at that range, right? But they're going to try to jump because almost all of your specials go across the ground. So it's obviously we need to be able to make it where she can anti-air, right? So how about we make her where her air buttons are blockable. You guys see where I'm getting it? You guys see where I'm going with this, right? You guys see where I'm going with this, right? Let's make a character who always has to go across the ground. So all you have to do is jump. Let's make it where she can't hit them. Yeah, this character's bad. Gigi is the best thing about this character. Her Oki is insane, right? Her Oki is absolutely insane. But you need to do anything else first. Her Oki is insane. But you have to actually do the rest of the game. That's kind of more so the issue, Shiro. If we're talking exclusively the 50-50, like the insta overhead thing, she would be really good. Like, her Oki is some of the best in the game. But she has to play the rest of the game first. And if you don't play the rest of the game first, and because she has to play the rest of the game first, it's kinda bad. Yeah, we're talking about a game that hates zoning of any kind, pretty much. So people will get on her, and her defense is not good because her DP is bad and her normals are slow. So she doesn't do a good job escaping pressure. She doesn't do a great job keeping people away. And she needs to hit you and be able to set up the Oki in order for her to be good. No, she does not have any. She does not have a 5-frame normal. So that's why I think she's bad. She's not just bad because she can't hit you out of the air. Although that is pretty bad. She's bad because she's a zoner-like character That's the best thing about her. Requires her to get a full combo, knock you down, and set up Oki. And she doesn't really have a way to keep you away from her. And she doesn't really have a way to escape once you do. That's more so why I think she's bottom tier. Her not being able to hit you out of the air is kind of just one of multiple reasons why she's not great. And then congratulations to our new bottom tier character, Vikala. Because shoutouts to giving a character normals that are almost all punishable on block. Normal as well as specials that are all roll dodgeable and punishable. No good way to deal with EX projectiles outside of a ultimate projectile, which doesn't really give her much. A 2M, which is minus 10 on block, while also not being a low. She's got her set play with her trap is cool if you can actually do it. Issue is getting the chance to do it, because in order to do it, you gotta give a bunch of damage, and the Oki ends up a lot of times the Oki ends up being either the fuzzy blocking of the low to high, or teching a throw. And that's basically the entire Oki there. So that's not that's the entire mix-up. So it's not the greatest mix-up in the world there. And do I even need to bring up the fact that RNG literally will bring up whether this character can even do anything? Because if you go for cannons, right, and you get heart or cheese, and they are anywhere near you, even if you cancel the heart or cheese, you will still get punished. If you use the heart or cheese, not only will you get punished, they'll have more time to punish you, and they'll get either more HP or meter from it. Yeah, it's And yes, put all of what I just said together, and she's a zoner in a game that hates zoners. I'm starting to sense a theme here. I have 3 characters in bottom tier that are made to zone in a game that doesn't allow zoners. True. Shout out to Vikala for managing to have a worse DP than Grimnir. It takes a lot of skill. To have a worse DP than Grimnir's. And yeah, I'm outside of S tier, which is ordered. I didn't order anything else. So yeah, I think this is my tier. This is my tier list. So hope you guys enjoyed watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm sure you guys are full of rage and inner thoughts of calling me a complete idiot for such and such and reason. But hope you guys enjoyed, nevertheless.